Hello! Bloody hell, it's been a long time coming, but here it is, the new Xbox. Feels like a billion years ago the Xbox 360 was released. But here it is at last, the X-Bone, as I'm going to be calling it, because A, it amuses me, and B, Xbox One, whilst I appreciate they're going for the whole, oh, it's an all-in-one entertainment system thing, it's just exactly what I was calling the original Xbox until this bloody name was announced. Very irritating. Anyway, yes, this is coming out today, and here it is, obviously. PlayStation 4 is being released next week, so it's all very, very tight-fit stuff. In fact, I think the PlayStation 4 was released last week in America. I'm not entirely sure, but hey, close release schedules. So anyway, this is the console nobody likes. Oh dear, they've had a bit of a clusterfuck on the marketing front. I'm not just talking about the name. But hey, since when did a bad or confusing name stop a console from selling in any way? Wii U. So yeah, Microsoft said, hey, we've got some really cool features where you can share games over the internet with relatives and stuff, and it has the small side effect of making all the games you purchase worthless second-hand. And that went down about as well as a big cup of cold sick. And they were forced to do a 180 on it. 180, 360. Oh man, that's confusing. Anyway, yeah, they decided against it. And here it is in a slightly different form, software-wise at the very least. It comes with a Kinect, which is a bit of a shame, because nobody really seems to want one, despite the fact that the first Kinect sold amazingly. I've never known anyone use one. Mainly because in England we don't generally have rooms big enough for them to bloody use. I've heard on the grapevine that this has a far better depth of field and wide angle and stuff and will work in a much smaller space, but I have yet to try it. Also, I've yet to see a game that really interested me, which doesn't help. Anyway, this is basically an unboxing video. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to split this video kind of into two parts because people have been hassling me a lot to see about what's in the box quickly. So we'll do this, and then I'll spend a few days using it and get the old HDMI capture out. So box, it's big and it's black and it's shiny and it's scrunched up in one corner where it was damaged in transit. Thank you, Mr. Courier Man. Something is interesting, on the plastic handle they've actually got Xbox One written on it. How posh. I'm super interested in that. We've got pictures on the side for people who like imagery. That presumably is a console, that is the Kinect, which always comes with it, so that's the controller, that's some sort of headset, that's an HDMI cable, I think. That's the wireless symbol, and that's 500GB Go Cubed. What does Go Cubed mean? 500GB. Oh, I see, you have to look at number 3 down in... where does the 3 relate to? That's just confusing. Maybe it's an advert for Dan Nerd Cubed. He is very good. Go watch his stuff. It's like mine, only more exciting. Recommended minimum play space. Oh my god. Who's got the tape measure? 6 foot measure, 4 foot... Oh, if you can stand 4 foot from it and the Kinect works, then that, yes, is a lot better than the last one. Look for games and accessories designed for Xbox One. That's a good idea. I won't just shove my Game Cubes in and then hit it with a hammer until it works. On the back, it's like the front, only even less pictures. They've gone very stylish. And look, here's the Day 1 2013 controller. I'm not entirely sure I'd want people knowing I bought it on Day 1 personally, because for home use, that's really, you want to be leaving it 6 months and then seeing which of the two consoles plays out better, don't you? And, you know, more to the point, wait until there's some decent games to play, because there's often very little at launch, and that's certainly true of these two consoles. But hey, I've got to review it, so I've got one on Day 1. That's my excuse. Box. Let's finally get around to opening it. Oh, blimey. We've got a bit of cardboard. That's good. I'm a huge fan of cardboard in general. You can use it to deflect very weak bullets. There's a free game download thing for FIFA 1, featuring a sort of slightly ugly and miserable man with Qatar Airways on his polyester shirt. You gotta love football. Anyway, that's going straight on fucking eBay. Quick setup guide. Yeah, I'll look at that when I'm setting up. Oh my goodness! There's a sticker. Look, Microsoft are pretending they're cool like Apple and giving you stickers. Oh, bless them. Get equipped. Team up to... Oh, good. I've just bought this one and opened it. I'm not getting adverts for the bloody stuff. Xbox One. What's this about? Oh, hang on. There's some sort of code on the back. Thank you for being part of Day 1. You were one of the first to experience a new generation of entertainment. To commemorate this moment, we've created an exclusive Day 1 achievement for you. Bloody hell, do you think I'm a hamster or something that needs a little pellet? Good boy, you bought the console. Well, I tell you what, I reckon there's somebody that will pay for that on eBay, so I'm going to put that on top of the FIFA card. Right, what have we actually got in the box that's more interesting? This looks suspiciously like Kinect 2. Is it even officially called Kinect 2? I'm not sure. Not sure I care either. Right, let's take the protective gubbins off. One side, two side. Oh, well, it's a much sort of bigger and more solid unit than the first one. Does it move around in a motor still? Feels like it might, or is that a clip? I don't know, I don't want to pull at it in case I break it, then I would feel like a big idiot. Well, it's a big solid square thing, looks kind of, yeah, I'll tell you a good description. It's what people in the 1970s thought things in the future would look like. It sort of has come to pass. And here's the big connector, which is sort of USB with extra power, enabling it to move and spy on your children when they sleep, and all those other exciting things that Kinects do. Let's put that over there. Headset. Ooh, free headset. That's something, I suppose. Looks like a piece of tut. I think I'll be using... Ooh. I was going to say I'll be using my one from the Xbox 360. Will I? Or does it have some other proprietary connector? Let's have a squiz. Oh, the suspense. The suspense. Oh, bugger and arse. So we've got to buy it all again, have we? Well, I'm going to be brutally honest with you here. If the early reports are to be believed, we're all going to be playing on PS4 anyway, so perhaps it won't be that particularly relevant. Here's a bag. I think it's got a controller in it. I haven't spent long with the Xbone controller, and I'm not sure what it's going to be like. Right, how is it? Oh dear, it doesn't quite feel as good. Oh bloody hell. Yeah, no, it really does say day one, and I'm not particularly impressed with that. It's not a bad tray. It doesn't feel as good in my hand. It feels a little bit too small for me, and yet, I'm not. Well, I'll see what. I'll reserve full judgment for when I've spent a few hours on it. But the D-pad feels a lot nicer. It's got sort of little far more definite action down there. The analog sticks are absolutely fine. The buttons are nice, but it feels a bit small in my hands. The triggers are a little bit too spongy as compared to the original 360. Nowhere near as bad as those fucking abominations on the PS3 controller, but not convinced by that. And you really have to wrench your hands in order to press the top buttons here. That's really uncomfortable, actually, and I'm actually finding it difficult to push this one down. Yeah, not liking that at all. Well, hopefully it will be all right in use, but not super impressed so far. Here's 2 free Duracell though, that makes everything better. Here's another cable, it's got a mains plug on it. It's got 3 pins, that's a good thing, or it wouldn't fit in, would it? I don't think there's going to be much else of particular interest here. An HDMI cable, a particularly solid looking one. Bloody great power brick. It's odd how the Xbone's much bigger than the PS4 and yet it also has a power brick as well. I imagine it's got some really killer cooling in it, to make sure there's no red rings of death this time. That's quite a big thing. Gonna have to stash that away behind the unit. And here's the money. Oh, out you come. It's like giving birth to a big square baby. Ugh, bloody heavy baby as well. Ugh. If this was a real baby, it'd probably have a full head of hair. Right. Down we go. And take off the umbilical cord, wrappings. Oh, blimey. This bloody hell, it really is quite large. There's no getting away from it. Oh, it's a big slab of, glossy piano black that attracts all the bloody fingerprints. Why do they do that on everything? Here it is. Do not move console without first removing any disc inside, or Bill Gates will come round and slap your legs till they're red raw. Yeah, it's got that big square look to it. I'm going to be honest, I think it's pretty frickin' ugly, personally. I must say, I think the PS4 is pretty ugly as well, just in a different way. Not super impressed with the looks of either of them, but I suppose on the other hand, if all you're going to see is the front, it doesn't bloody matter, does it? What's on the side? Air intakes and fins and things. What's on the back? That's a bit more relevant. Right, power, obviously, HDMI out to TV, I'm guessing. I'm not going to tell you where I got that hint, but the more eagle-eyed viewers may have an idea. A bit of the old optical audio, HDMI in from satellite stroke cable. Oh yeah, you can connect your telly and your satellite box into it and say, Xbox, show me that program with the man I like, you know, the one with the hair. And the Connect 2 knows exactly what you're talking about. It also has some sort of integration with cable systems, which will almost certainly never actually be enacted in this country. Couple of USB ports, USB 3 I would presume. There's your Connect, there's your infrared out. Not entirely sure what the infrared out is for. Is it audio again? Probably is. I don't know. And a good old solid network port, which unfortunately most of us can't stretch a lead to, so we have to use the bloody wireless. My understanding, actually, is that the wireless chip in the Xbone is slightly better than the one in the PS4, which is pretty good. I must say the PS3 was always a bit shite on wireless for me, so that's a good thing. What does not seem to be a good thing, sadly, is that, as far as we can tell so far, partially due to the Xbox One trying to be an all-in-one system and pushing its specs in that direction, having a bit of background system use and stuff, it's not actually got as much oomph for the games as the PS4 does, noticeably so, so that could be a bit of a killer. But we'll see how that plays out over time, because of course a console is only as good as the bloody games out for it. I mean, the Apple Pippin was the best thing ever, but they didn't release any games for it. There's another USB on the side, that could be quite nice. And a dodgy looking metal switch. Looks like an ejector seat or something, but it's just disc eject. So there you go, that's what you get for your £857 million, or however bloody expensive it is because you can't buy it without the goddamn Kinect. Well, what's it like to use? No bloody idea yet. We'll have a bit of a demonstration video in a few days when I've had time to get me mitts round it. See you then. Just putting the batteries into the controller and discover it says, "Hello from Seattle" in it. Oh, that's lovely. Hello to you too, Fraser.